beautiful, but remote and relatively expensive. Heading to the snow is certainly discretionary spending.
I'm pretty broke. Not gonna lie, I'm very broke. But I love the sport, so I make it work.
Our ski resorts are still seeing strong visitor numbers and future bookings, despite households battling rising costs.
No, we definitely notice it. But yes, we definitely, this is our first holiday break for the year. We love it so much. We just make it a priority.
I think we've decided that this is once in a lifetime for us with the family. It's not a holiday that we'll be repeating over and over just because of the cost.
Emma Hinchcliffe looks after 100 properties in Victoria's high country. Everything from units to luxurious houses like this one that starts at around $700 a night.
When we came out of COVID, everyone was rushing for the luxury properties because they had to have the best of the best. It's definitely slowed down a little bit. It's still getting booked out, but not at the rate that we used to see. The middle sort of family market seems to be what's really taking off and getting the most interest now.
There are signs customers are cutting back. Previously, many of the kitchens in these big houses would barely be used because the residents would eat out almost every night. Now, they're eating in more frequently. What Emma's not seeing are cancellations.
We're getting a lot of people booking multiple weekends through the season, but then you've got those other people that really want to tick it off the bucket list, and they will make it work and worry about the consequences of that later.
Steve Belly has worked on the mountains for decades with multiple businesses. Currently, he's run off his feet with more people making long day trips.
So that's changing some of the demographics up here and also changing the spend as well. The mid to high end accommodation is taken a little bit of a hit this year, and I think that's again in relation to discretionary spending, in relation to mortgage rates and just the general cost of living.
Operators say there's a desire for something different.
When you're in tourism, you're essentially taking people's disposable income, so you've got to be pretty mindful with that.
These igloos are booked up to a year in advance.
The landscape is changing dramatically. A lot more people are now into experiences rather than buying things. But it certainly shows that people are no longer just after their typical, ski, go to the pub, sleep in a dorm room.
Many people visiting the Alpine regions know it's not the most sensible thing to do with their money.
100% you kind of second guess it whether you can afford it or not, or you got to skimp on something else to justify coming and maybe work a couple of extra hours here and there.
Perhaps what's changed are perceptions of what we really value.
Australians are feeling the pinch, but the choices they're making about what to cut back on might reflect a change in priorities since COVID, a realisation that you only live once.
They'll find a way to make it work. Where we are in Alpine region, there's a small amount of time to get that experience that you want.
People have got to treat themselves and do something that they enjoy, because if you just don't want to go to work and pay the bills and that be life, so you've sort of got to put away that little bit and save up and have those pleasures in life.
Words to live by.